Hello one and all, welcome everybody. This is going to be my dogfighting module, sort of impressions, my first impressions, what I expect to see more of in the future games, what I hope they fix, and what I think needs to be fixed. A couple of tips and tricks as well. I'm not that good. I'm not actually, in fact, I'm terrible, so I'm not really justified in giving any tips and tricks. It's just stuff that has made me less terrible, so I think would probably be useful to you. First off, I've been loving this game. I've been really enjoying it. I've been playing the bollocks off it to the extent that I've actually broken my X52 Pro. So I need to sort out the potentiometer on that. But you know, this game is great. It looks great. It's such a gorgeous game. The effects are really immersive, and as you can see, I'm flying through an asteroid field, and there's like bits of like flaming, stuff coming off a dead star or something, and I'm being chased by all these bastards with their like fucking laser cannons everywhere, and it's fantastically gorgeous game. The controls are like pretty simple. On the joystick, I think there's a huge disparity at the moment towards the mouse and keyboard. Like if you go on the forums, you'll see a lot of people get quite upset about it, and I think they're sort of justified in doing it because this game is been touted as this space, it's the new space sim, and they want it to be really immersive. And obviously it's not as immersive if you're flying around with a keyboard and mouse instead of like a cool space age joystick or something. So I hope that they make the mouse and keyboard sort of bring it back in line with the joystick and everything. But that's my main and probably only gripe with it. You can't change your key bindings at the moment, but I think that's going to change, and it's just like once you can change your key bindings, and like the X52 and the X52 Pro have got a button on them that sits underneath like a switch that you lift up this switch, so it looks like it should be used to fire missiles. Like that's its only job, is to fire missiles. But for some reason, it's grouped to like fire group 3 as opposed to just your missiles. Like, so you've got to put your missiles into your fire group, and that's another one of the problems. Is the controls with you can sort out your lasers. You can put different things in different firing groups. You can put power to rear deflector shields. You can do stuff like that, and it's great. So that needs to be tightened up a bit, because at the moment you've got to press F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 and move it around with your directional keys, and that's really clunky and a bit... You can't do it on the fly. And it resets every time you die, which isn't very often, admittedly, but it is really annoying if you put everything into fire group 1 so that it's all on the same button, and then you die, and when you respawn, you've got to press like F2 or whatever it is, and just dance around with the keys for a little while. So I think that's something they need to fix. But again, all of the things that need to be fixed will be fixed. I think it's not because it's a feature that they don't want to include, and it's not something that they're not looking at. It's just because this is such an early version of this game that they're just not, they've not fixed this sort of stuff yet. I love the damage states in it. That's part of the great visuals and the great immersion. If I take a missile to the left side of my ship, then my left laser stops working. Like you can see at the moment when I shoot, I'm only firing one green laser and then the blue repeater, and that's because I've taken a big hit, and you can see it in that wire work on top left there. You can see I've got a red wing, so it means the thing's shagged. It's great. There's not a lot that can be improved in terms of visuals, immersion, that kind of thing. It's all just minor gripes that sort of add up to be bigger problems. But yeah, trying to think what other stuff is. There is actually nothing else wrong with it. I really, really want to be able to co-op Vandal Swarm, because at the moment you've got two AI friends who are a bit crap, to be honest. But if you get your mates involved, it'd be great fun. And because swarm games, you don't really other sort of swarm games like Nazi Zombies at World at War. You never played it by yourself because it was bloody boring by yourself. and it was bloody difficult. You know, you want to play with your friends, and this is the sort of game mode that would lend itself very well to cooperative play for teammates, and you could practice sort of squadron maneuvers and stuff. Say, you know, oh, I'm being chased by someone, so can you come up, you know, you need to come and clear this guy off my tail, sort of thing. Another good thing, or a tip and trick actually for flying, tip and or trick, just a tip, is look at the fucking key bindings, right? Like, I have no idea, like, when you're on the forums and stuff, and there's people like, oh, you can't do this and I can't do that. You just, like, read the fucking key, like, RTFM, dude, read the fucking manual. Like, it actually tells you how to do these things you're crying about. Like, you can go into coupling mode, which is normally, your rear thruster pushes you forward, obviously. So when you point the nose in a different direction, the ship turns because you're being driven, so it turns in a certain way. But if you turn on coupling mode, then it turns off your main thruster. So instead of being thrust through a flight path, it keeps you on the same trajectory, but you can spin your ship round without changing course. So if there's someone behind you, you press, I think it's caps lock, puts you into coupled mode, and then you can just spin the ship round, and as you're hurtling backwards at hundreds of meters per second, you can just like blast the guy that was behind you, flip back round, turn off coupling mode, and then just carry on. It's great. One of my problems with the normal flying mode is it feels a bit drifty, because that's a technical term, because of the way the combat mechanic, the way the fly-by-wire mechanics work. It doesn't allow you to build up enough Gs to, you know, knock your character out, essentially, because you can black out in this. I did have some footage, but it was from when my joystick was broken, so it was a bit crappy. Yeah. So when you're in normal G safe mode, I feel like you're drifting a lot because it's not allowing you to apply the same kind of forces to your turning circle. So if you press Control caps lock, then that turns it off. If you turn too hard, then your character will black out. But it's just such a useful feature, and it makes the ship so much more responsive, and it makes it feel so much more like you're, you know, in direct control of it, and it's not just this sort of drifty, floaty, you're kind of making yourself fizzle around a bit. But overall, great game. I can't wait to get into the multiplayer as well. Hopefully they've fixed sticks by then, so, you know, it won't just be a realm of people absolutely destroying you if you're using a joystick. Because I think one of the points that I made on the forums was, you know, I want to have fun. I play this game for fun. And having fun means I want to use a joystick. I want to be immersed. So if I want to use a joystick, I have to lose, and that isn't fun. And if I use a mouse, then that's not immersive, and that's not fun. And it just destroys the whole point of playing a game, for me anyway. But yeah, hopefully they fix that. And to be honest, like, I think they will. Chris Roberts has said that he wants it to be controller agnostic, and you just play for preference. So I think that's going to be fixed sooner rather than later, I think, as well. But this is that was my video. Overall, this is just a great game, and anyone who hasn't backed it should, provided you want to play a space game. Like, if you want to play an FPS game, then, like, well, actually, they're going to have FPS features, so back it anyway. Doesn't matter. I've really been enjoying playing it. I can't wait for new features to come out for it. I can't wait to be able to fly my 325 instead of just the 300. I can't wait for multi-crew ships to come in so that, like, my mate and I can fly in his Cutlass, and it's going to be fantastic. It's coming along great. I've been really enjoying myself. It's just I can't give it enough praise. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, like it. If you loved it, sub. I've probably got some more Star Citizen videos coming out soon, but obviously I can't have too many because there's not actually that much to make videos about at the moment. What else was I going to say? I'm on Twitter now. Follow me if you're bored. I don't do much clever stuff on Twitter, to be honest, but, you know, whatever. Thanks very much for watching. Laters, Taters.